Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the Eyeshadow Palette series again. We have already done 3 videos. I hope you have watched all the videos. I will list all the videos which I have done so far. Everyday glam palettes, warm tone palettes and cool tone palettes. They are already up on my both the channels. Today and tomorrow we are going to do colorful palettes, and in today's video I'm going to share with you some colorful palettes which everybody can use. These are half neutral, half colorful palettes. They are not very intimidating and still they are really pretty, and the formulation of these palettes are amazing. Okay, so these are some of the favorite colorful palettes which I have in my collection, and there is one drugstore one as well in this video too. So if you guys are interested to find out about some colorful palettes I love, then do continue watching. Okay guys, so today I have just 5 palettes to share with you. I know in the last 2 videos I have shared extra palettes. So let's go start price wise, as I'm doing in every video. So the first one is kind of an older one, but it's a favorite, and this one is the most expensive one. So that's why I am going first. This is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, and I was not going to mention this palette, but then I realized that this is actually still available. You can still buy it. So that's why I'm mentioning this, because I want you to be able to get these palettes. So this one is the Urban Decay Born to Run, and I just love this palette so much. It has been an all-time favorite, and there have been a lot of you who have purchased this palette because of me, and you have really loved this palette. So thank you for trusting my opinion and then actually going ahead and buying it and then liking it too. So this is how the palette looks like. My palette is pristine. It's pretty old. I have used it quite a bit. It has traveled with me, but it looks very nice because I keep it in the cover. I love the packaging of this palette. It just gives me travel vibes, and currently we just need that vibe in our life. So pretty. I don't know when I will travel again, but anyways, this is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. If you haven't seen this before, this is how the palette looks like inside. You have like very nice everyday friendly colors in here and some colorful shades too. If you are not into colorful eyeshadow palettes, I think this is a perfect palette for you, because the colors which are out in this palette are not too out there. They are not too intense. The colors are sort of on the muted side. The pigmentation and everything is just amazing. The quality is amazing of this palette, but in terms of how intense the shadows are, in terms of the tone, how they look on my skin tone, they are very subtle and very wearable. So that's why I think this is a very good colorful eyeshadow palette, and you get lot of shades inside here. Some very like wearable colorful shades, some olive tones, some greens, some blues, purples, berries. You get like a range of colors here, and you can obviously do some neutral looks with this one too. So this is, I think, one of the best Urban Decay palettes I have used. There are so many shades in this palette. How many are there? I didn't mention. 7 3s are 21. Okay, so there are 21 shades in this palette, yet the palette is super lightweight and it's just great. Okay, so this one is definitely my first pick. Okay, moving on. The second best colorful palette which I will recommend, I think you guys know if you have been following me for some time, or if you are a subscriber of my main channel, the ABH Jackie Aina palette. This is sort of like a must-have kind of a palette, honestly. I mean, I think all the palettes which I'm going to show you today are must-have kind of palettes if you like colorful shades. This is such a well done palette. If you are close to my skin tone, you should definitely try this palette out, and I think this one is also still available, and you can get some deals on this one as well. It's super lightweight packaging, and it's the traditional packaging of ABH palettes, but look at that holographic cover. It's so beautiful. These are all the shades which are in here. You get a brush as well. The brush works amazingly well. I really like the brush of this palette, and the colors which you get in this palette are so beautiful. You get some neutral tones, some grungy tones. The colors are very wearable. They show up very well on my skin tone, and the pigmentation and the blendability is great. There is not much fallout with this palette either, unlike some other ABH palettes. The metallics are very smooth. some very unique metallics in this palette, and it's not very difficult to create looks with this palette. The color story is very good, and all the colors go very well together, so you can get some very interesting unique kind of looks but still wearable. Okay, so this is one palette I think I have two of. This is the only palette I have two of. I literally bought another one because I love this palette so much, and it was a limited edition palette. So ABH Jackie Aina, definitely highly recommend. Okay, so the first two palettes are like my top most highly recommended palettes in different phases of my career. Next I have another one which also I have highly recommended in a few videos, and I have really used it a lot in my life, but I think I haven't spoken too much about it. The third one is the Dose of Colors Friendcation palette. Now this is a more of a half neutral half colorful palette, and this term I am taking from Angelica Nyquist. She uses this term a lot, so I'm stealing it from her. So this is how the packaging looks like. I mean, the packaging on these palettes, all the three which I showed you, they are just so beautiful. Even the last two which are coming up, they are also very beautiful. Okay, this is more of a like a glittery sparkly cover, and it's just so pretty. It's a cloth packaging, by the way. So this is how this palette looks like. So this is a half neutral half colorful palette. If you are a neutral lover and you just wear neutral eyeshadows, you can get this palette, and you can once in a while play with these colors as well. Okay, so the neutrals work so well on my skin tone. There are some warm neutrals and some mostly warm neutrals in this palette, and some berries. They work so well. The pigmentation, the quality, the blendability, amazing. I don't know with the reflection if you can see it properly or not. They appear quite light in the pan, but they actually work really well on my skin tone, and I love to work with all the shades. And this is a wholesome all-in-one palette. In fact, all the palettes which I'm showing you today are all-in-one palettes. You get everything in here. You get a deeper shade, you get a lighter shade for highlight too, and the colors are just mind-blowing. They are just so beautiful. The olive, the blues, they have that slight bit of shift, duochrome shift, and the black and blue right here has a little bit of sparkle. They are a little bit glittery, so you may have to use a glitter glue. I always use a glitter glue whenever I want to use these shadows, and that's how I get a very nice wear of this palette. So the eye look which I have done today is using this palette. So I have used most of the neutrals, the brown, the lighter one, deeper one, and this one in the crease, and all the neutral shades which you see. I have the olive tone in the center of the lid. I have this blackened blue shade in the outer part, and I have this one which is highlighting my inner corners, and I also use this blue right here in the lower lash line a little bit to give just a pop of blue. Okay, this is a very similar look which you can create with the Pat McGrath Subversive palette as well. Yeah, if you don't want to get the Subversive palette and you want to look like this, you can get the Dose of Colors palette. Highly recommend the Dose of Colors Friendcation palette, and you can still buy this one too. Okay, the next one is another palette which I have recommended for a really long time on my main channel when I first started out. That is the Color Drain Queen of Hearts palette. The packaging on this one is also amazing, and you can see how excited I am about talking about these colorful palettes, because I love them. I genuinely love these palettes. So the packaging on this one is also amazing. You can still buy this one too, and the quality on this, oh my god, it is just super beautiful. This is a very nice warm toned colorful palette. You get some very nice oranges and neutral shades in here, and you get some purples and berries which are metallic, and the metallics in here are so smooth. When I had first started using this palette, I was just blown away with the quality of the metallics. They just look so beautiful and smooth on the eyes. I especially love two shades in here, this particular one which is a taupey kind of a color, and this one, and they are so beautiful and they work so well with the colors in the palette. The oranges, the berries, the matte formula is just amazing. I've had this palette for a while now, but still it is the same quality. Nothing has happened to these shadows and they still work the same. and they're just super smooth, super easy to blend. Pigmentation is amazing. So definitely, if you want to get a warm toned colorful palette, or you want to try color drain palette, try this Queen of Hearts palette from Color Drain. This is amazing. This is an amazing palette, okay? Love it. So this definitely had to be in my list. And the last one is a drugstore palette, which I love. I am blown away by this drugstore palette from Makeup Revolution. And this one is the Sofix palette. And this one also has a very cute packaging. This is how the outer box looks like. You have all the details behind, and this is how the packaging looks like. I love the rose gold letters in there, and it's very sleek. It has a lot of shades as well. So this one has 24 shades, okay, and 24 shades are packed in this very compact palette. I think they have done a great job with the packaging, and these are all the shades which are in here. You get some cool tones, some warm tones, some shimmers, some very interesting colors which I like, bronzy tones, some green, that oil slick kind of a shade which I really love, that duochromatic blue black shade. And there is a purple. There are some very pretty corally tones right here, red, pink, corals, peach, and you have some browns, black. So this is also a very all-in-one palette. The quality is really good. As I always say, Makeup Revolution has been very hit and miss for me. This is one great palette from Makeup Revolution. If I have to recommend an all-in-one palette from Makeup Revolution, this is a great one, because you can do a lot with this palette. You can create so many different kind of looks. I myself have done so many looks with this palette. The pigmentation is pretty nice. Again, they are a little bit more buildable shadows. Some of the shadows are more nicely pigmented than some others, but overall I think the pigmentation is pretty nice, and the metallics are not too intense, but they are very smooth and they go on very nicely on the eyes. If you want to try something colorful, don't want to spend so much, you can try the Makeup Revolution Sofix palette, and I have recommended it so many times on my channel. So definitely it had to make it in today's video. Okay, so those are 5 top class favorite colorful palettes which I have in my collection, which everybody can use. I hope you liked this video, and if you liked it, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're watching me for the first time, I really hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again really soon in my next video. Bye.